Hey everyone, it's Aaron here, and I am here setting up for week 23, which is the first full week of June. So really quickly, I want to show you what I decided to do with my moving checklist because some people were curious about that and provided some pretty interesting insights and links and things like that on my Instagram stories and in the comments and stuff like that. So I decided to go through each room individually and mark down the major items that are there, not all these little small items, but things like the futon, the couch, TV, Keurig, pots and pans, things like that. And I color coded them using my Tombows. I used 991, 06 or 026 rather, 192, and M57. So I use this color palette for that, and I decided to mark it in 4 basic categories: keep, donate, sell, or trash. Usually when things go out on the trash, they also get picked up from someone in Brooklyn, so those might technically be donations as well. So basically, some of the things that we're going to try to sell, if we don't sell them in time, we're just going to donate them. But we figured we might as well try. So I color coded them, and whenever something gets donated or sold off, I'm gonna mark it down. For example, the futon Tyler's friend picked up this morning, so I'm just gonna exit it out. And if we decide to change from sell to donate, I'm just gonna note it to the side. And then for donations, we're donating to Salvation Army, so then I'm going to have some information over here about pickup time, what they took, what they didn't, and then keep the receipt because for tax purposes, we can write a bunch of that stuff off. So I will be keeping that information over here to this side. So that is what I decided to do with that moving checklist. So thank you to everyone who provided some really good insights. It was very helpful. So on to the first week, I have picked up these paint chips from Bear, and I got them from Home Depot, and they go generally with my color palette, as you can see. So I am going to cut out some squares from these and then use them to make my spread. So I'm going to go ahead and get started. I'll let you know what's going on in the voiceover, and I will see you on the other side. All right, so here is my basic structure for the week. So I have an area for top 3. I used the paint chips, as I mentioned. So the paint chips I used were Morning Tea, Fresh Brew, Kimum, and Green Tea Leaf. And then on the yellow palette for the weekend, I use garbanzo paste, English custard, plantain chips, which I love plantain chips. So I'm glad I used that color, and it's actually pretty exact to that palette. So I'm really happy, and actually both of these I matched up pretty well. The green palette fits more of this than it does these, but that's fine. Either way, I'm really happy with how it turned out. I think I have to go in, I don't think I used the right thing. Removable adhesive. I used the removable instead of the permanent. So I have to go back in and use the permanent adhesive on these to make sure they stick down, because it's kind of the end of the bullet journal. I don't usually like to have such thick things because then it's messes up my rating in other spreads, but I'm at the end of this bullet journal, so I don't mind it so much. So I think I'm going to go back in with this permanent adhesive and deal with that. But otherwise, I have stuff ready for Monday on my list. But obviously, you guys know how I plan for my week in terms of work week. It's kind of a daily thing where I address things that morning. I look through my email, I figure out what is prioritized, and then everything else. But I have a pretty good idea of this week because I know what I'm doing the week I'm currently planning. So I have a pretty good idea. And then the weekend, I decided that it would be fun to do that other color. And on Thursday, my husband is driving up with his father with my new car. So that's kind of crazy. So I have that noted down there, and we will see for the rest of it. I think I actually want to add in a quick drop shadow, and then I'll be done with this spread. I had a shot of espresso for the first time in a really long time in my coffee, so welcome to the land of shaky lines. So maybe I shouldn't have done this drop shadow, but it is what it is. So I use 026 for my drop shadow, and it goes really good with this color. So I hope you guys like this spread. I'm filming a lot of spreads in one day, so if I don't get quite as many details in here, it's really only because my desk is moving to Syracuse, so I just cannot, I have to plan so far in advance that I just don't know what's going on those weeks. So thank you guys for putting up with this move. I hope you guys like this spread, and I will see you next time. Bye, everyone.